talking about citations, bibliographies, and reference listing. This particular video is for how to do it on a MacBook. There are many different ways of doing citations and doing reference listing. However, we will be using Microsoft Word today, and one of the benefits of using Microsoft Word is that it saves all your source information, and if you need to reuse a source, you don't have to input it in again. So, if you have a look at the text here, I have some citations. You can see the quotation marks. Just a point in passing. In America, they tend to use double quotation marks to quote things. In Australia and England, we tend to use single quotation marks. So you can see I have single quotation marks used here. However, in my last quotation, which is here, you can see that there is what we call a nested citation in there. And the sort of general rule is if you use single quotation marks on the outside, for any nested quotations, you use double quotation marks inside. Of course, it would be the opposite if it was the other way around. If you tended to use double quotation marks for your main quotation, as they do in America, you would use single quotation marks for nested quotes inside the quotation. Australia is a little bit tricky because generally, if we quote the whole section like I have here, the end quotation mark goes after the full stop. If you quote a part of a sentence, then the end quotation mark would go at the end of where you quoted and your full stop for the sentence would go outside it. So that's why we have these funny looking quotation marks separated by a full stop in the middle. I've quoted the entire sentence. That's just in passing. I have two quotations. They're from the same source, and they need to be in text cited. So we need an in-text citation, a citation right here and right here. And we also need them to be part of our reference list or bibliography if that's what we're using. So we'll go over to references and make sure that the reference tab is clicked. And when we do that, you can see that it drops down and we move across to citations. When I select the citation button, on the right-hand side, a citation box emerges. There are many different styles. The science department and the humanities department of this school tend to use the APA. However, you must be aware that different teachers may have different preferences. We will be using APA today, as that's what's used in our school most of the time. Now, these quotations here, they come from a website. So I'm going to need to put in the information of the website. Here's the website here. It's called The Conversation. When I scroll down, I can see that there is a very clear author, Adam Webster. If there is no clear author, we can still cite it. But in our discussion about the veracity of source material, whether a source is trustworthy or how trustworthy a source is, certainly it's more trustworthy when there is an author associated with the website. Adam Webster is our author in this particular one. So we need to put information from this website in to our citation manager. So if we go back to Microsoft Word, I can click the plus button and it enables me to input information about my source. Now, I'm not citing a book this time, so I'm going to click the drop down button and I'm going to click the website button because that's what I'm citing. Now, we know that there is an author. Let's go back and check who he was. Adam Webster is the author. So we type in Webster Adam. Now, if this was published by the Encyclopedia Britannica or something like that, and you didn't know the name of the person, you would click Corporate Author and put in Encyclopedia Britannica. Based on this website, you can see I have an author, I have a date, and I have a URL right up here. So I've inserted that information into the document right here. The name of the web page is the name of the article. The name of the website's the conversation. I have the URL and the date that it was published. But I still need to insert some more information, so I just click here, Show All Bibliography Fields, and I can see that it's accessed. This is a very important part because websites change, so we must put in the year it was accessed. The current year is 2019. The month currently is November. And the day that I accessed this was the 23rd. There is an editor on that page as well. So let's go back and find the editor's name, Misha Ketchell. So I'll just copy that. And I can put the editor's name there. We tend to go surname, comma, first name. Doesn't need a short title. Version, and if you find this a valuable website or you want to remind yourself, you can insert some comments about the website if you wanted to. Once I click OK, you can see that this particular source here has come over into the box, and you'll see that in brackets Webster 2016 has been cited in the text. So this is an in-text citation. This quotation comes from this source. Again, at the end of here, I'm going to do that again, and you'll see that we have the in-text citations after the quote. That's in-text citation. Now, at the end of it, I want to create a reference list or a bibliography. So what I will do is I will insert a page break right there. And then I will go to a new page. And what I want this time is to make a reference list. Now, before I do that, I may well have a number of different sources that I would like to quote. So I click down the bottom just here, and I open Citation Source Manager, just like that. And you can see that I have some sources from other things. And I might say, well, I've quoted this source in the past, and I've quoted it again here. And I might copy across another couple. Well, that was already there, and I'll do that one. And why not do the bottom one? So there are a number of sources that I have, and I've copied it across to my current list. When I close, all of those will be listed here. But if I go back to my References tab, just here, this time I want to create a bibliography of sorts. So if I click down here, there's a drop-down menu, and what it will show is I can choose bibliography or works cited. A bibliography contains all the information that you have. Works cited are just the works that are cited. In this case, I'm going to choose works cited, and I'm going to double click on it. And what you will see is it will insert in alphabetical order all the information that's relevant to the work cited. So this is the process we go through for citing works in in-text citation and creating bibliographies or references or works cited lists in your document.